Assalamu alaikum, beautiful people. I hope that you guys are doing well and that you're in good health and good spirits. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about some tips to get your business off the ground right now in 2022. We're at the second quarter of the year. We're inching towards the third one. It's not too late to jump in there and do what you want to do. First things first, for each of these 3 tips that I'm going to give you, they're just little snippets from my new online course that I created on how to start a home-based business. So if you like what you hear and you want to learn more, check out the link in the notes, or as usual, you can go to my website, amirabellaagency.com, and go on and get that course started, knock out the action steps, and get your business launched. Okay, so the first thing that I want to give you a tip for is to start your business with a solid foundation. And what I'm referring to by that is your actual business structure. You may even want to consider having a consultation with a reputable accountant in your industry, or somebody who, specializes in what you're doing in particular, just so that you can make sure that you're set up with the right structure that's going to give you the best, tax benefits and all of that. The sole proprietor structure is different, from the LLC. LLC is different from just an LLC partnership, and an LLC paid as an S corp. Those are all different, right? And I learned about all this stuff after we started our trucking business, because when I have, my virtual assistant business and I'm just doing things online for people, that's just under a sole proprietorship. So when I went to set up our trucking company, I was just like, okay, LLC. And since there's 2 of us, partnership. But when we went to go do our taxes, everybody was like, okay, so why'd you set it up like this versus this? And I was like, I just figured that's what we were supposed to do, but it wasn't the most advantageous thing for us. So again, figure out which one is for you, and an accountant is a good person to address that with. The accountant, they're going to be able to help you and set you up properly right from the beginning. Or I'm sorry, not them set you up, but help you get set up right from the beginning. Because depending on your sales volume, if your gross income, like I said, one structure may be better than the other. So start with a solid foundation. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, and I'm guilty of not doing this, but I see the effects of doing it properly when I do, is to choose one social media platform to start with, okay? If you try to be in too many places at once, too fast, you'll burn out. This is especially if you're, starting off solo. You have to work into building your company, you're setting up your systems, you're doing your own outreach and marketing overall, and it's important to be consistent. You'll do this better if you only have one place to focus on, one place to be known for being, one place where your customers know where you'll be and how they can find you and how they can contact you in the DMs or whatever. You can create and crank out your content pretty quickly and consistently, and your audience, again, they'll know when you are, where you are, and how to find you, right? So I'm not saying that it always has to be like that, but just consider starting like that, and then you can add on to your load as you see fit based on what you can handle after you have your consistency built up and your system in place for that social media platform. And if you bring on another team member or hire out, your social media services, then you can diversify more quickly. But if it's just you, don't overwhelm yourself because you want to be consistent here. Like I said, I've been guilty of not being consistent as a result of me having too many places to be. But when I have honed in and been consistent, I can see the results on those platforms that I'm consistent on. So that's tip number 2. Choose one social media platform to start with when you get your business off the ground. Tip number 3, be confident. Okay, I know that sounds cliche or whatever, but it is important. You know what you know. You didn't start this business for nothing. You're not starting it for nothing. You're doing it because you have something that you're good at, and there are people who can benefit from your skill and who will pay you for it. But you can't be timid and unsure of yourself, because would you pay somebody money who seemed like they were unsure about, what you were paying them to do? If I want my hair done, should I trust somebody who says, I think I can do what you're asking me for? Especially depending on the price? No, we're not going to do that. You need a professional who knows their stuff and, what they're doing, and then you're willing to pay them the money for it. Me, I know that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to setting up a business, right? I've done it before. I've set up a couple businesses, not just for myself, but helped other family members and people. So does that mean that I know everything, like how to draft a legal contract, or that I can outline the zoning laws or the business license requirements in every state? No, I don't. but I know enough to advise people on it and not skipping those steps. And I know what needs to be done, in what order, and where to find those things out and locate the professionals who do know what those things are, who do know those requirements, so that they can do their job. So that's why I choose to educate and advise people who don't know about setting up their home businesses. I know that I know what I'm talking about. I've walked the shoes. I continue to constantly educate myself on the process so that I can maintain and grow in my own knowledge. You do the same thing. Do whatever you need to do. Learn whatever you need to learn to do the same thing in your area. Get that confidence under your belt before you ever offer a service, and then own it. I have my brand new course, like I said, available in the notes. It outlines each step that you need to take in order to get your home business off the ground, okay? This is a real, actual business that we're setting up with a solid foundation. So it has real action steps that you are going to have to take, but they are outlined for you. If you're stuck or you don't know what to do, check it out, get your idea off the ground, and get your business going. Start that new life that you wanted and that you're aiming for. You do not have to put it on hold. This is the perfect time. And I want you to do that. That's why I created the course. I have a workbook that I created, but then I said, you know what, let me go a step further and explain these steps. So you can buy the workbook, but if you buy the course, you're going to get the workbook for free. So check it out. And that's all I have for you today. Set up your foundation, start with one social media platform, and then be confident and just go for it. All right, that's it, you guys. Stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.